Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about the bones and the joints of the thorax. Thorax consists of 3 bones and 7 joints. We will be seeing each of them in detail. The bones of the thorax are thoracic vertebrae, 12 pairs of ribs, and the sternum. The upper part of the sternum is called as manubrium, the middle part is called as body, and the lower part is called as xiphoid process. Manubrium consists of clavicular notch in which there is attachment of clavicle. There are 7 costal notches on the sternum. Costal cartilage of first rib is attached on the manubrium. Second rib of the costal cartilage is attached on the manubriosternal joint. Manubriosternal joint is also called as sternal angle. The joint between the body of the sternum and xiphoid process is called as xiphisternal joint. There are 12 pairs of ribs and all are attached posteriorly to the thoracic vertebrae. True ribs, upper 7 pairs are called as true ribs. False ribs, 8th, 9th and 10th pairs are called as false ribs. 11th and 12th are called as floating ribs. The ribs from 3rd to 9th are called as typical ribs. 1st, 2nd, 10th and 12th are called as atypical ribs. The ribs that are directly attached to the sternum is called true ribs. The ribs that are not directly attached to the sternum is called as false ribs. The ribs whose attachment is found only on the thoracic vertebrae is called floating ribs. According to the morphological features, the ribs are atypical and typical. Joints of the thorax. Manubriosternal joint. It is a secondary cartilaginous joint. The joint is formed between manubrium and the body of the sternum. Costovertebral joint. It is a synovial joint. Articulation between the head of the rib and the vertebral body. Costotransverse joint. It is a synovial joint. Articulation between the ribs tubercle and the transverse process of the vertebrae. Costochondral joint. It is primary cartilaginous joint. Joints between each rib and its cartilage. This joint permits no movement. Chondrosternal joint. First chondrosternal joint is primary cartilaginous joint. 2nd to 7th are synovial joint. Attach the sternum with the costal cartilages of the thorax. Interchondral joint. It is a synovial joint. The 5th to 9th costal cartilages articulate with one another by synovial joint. Intervertebral joint. Adjoining vertebrae are connected to each other at 3 joints. There is median joint between vertebral body and its secondary cartilaginous joint. At 2 joints, one on right side and one on left side. Between articular processes and it is plain synovial joint.